Hello, you've caught me, surprise, surprise, playing Death Stranding. It's here, it's wonderful, it's like playing a prize-winning landscape photograph. Death Stranding, the latest masterpiece from Hideo Kojima, is one of my favourite games in ages, and I simply cannot help myself but play it every spare second I get. Technically, it pushes PS4 all the way, the game is like nothing I've ever played before. What more could I possibly want? Okay, who am I kidding? What more could I possibly want? All of the other amazing games still coming out on PS4, of course. We've picked 7 for this video, the first of which is The Last of Us Part 2. No big deal, just the follow-up to one of the most critically acclaimed games ever made. From the studio that brought you the Uncharted series, no less. I mean, when has Naughty Dog ever made a game that's been anything less than spectacular? And The Last of Us Part 2, from what we've seen, is shaping up to be the studio's most ambitious work to date. So, what do we know? You're playing as Ellie, she's older and stronger than before, a hardened survivor who knows what it takes to stay alive in the harsh post-pandemic world in which The Last of Us Part 2 is set. And often what it takes in The Last of Us Part 2 is hiding. Thankfully, a new prone system lets you do that very effectively. You can even aim, throw and shoot while crawling, basically just like you would if you were ever unfortunate enough to find yourself hiding from dangerous madmen, hungry dogs and fungus-infected monstrosities in real life. The environments are bigger too, giving you more scope for strategizing. Although knowing me, I'll panic, throw a bottle in someone's face, shiv them in the neck, and then just leg it. And of course, the story is of huge importance, adding emotional impact to the combat and encouraging you to reflect on your actions, like here, when you set this man on fire and someone unseen calls after him. There's a jolt of horror as you realise the seriousness of what you've just done. No one's a villain here, it's about survival, you or them. When I play The Last of Us Part 2, it's going to be them. Oh my god, seriously, games, you've got to stop. There are limits to how excited I can get, and I am at those limits. If I explode Final Fantasy VII Remake, it will be your fault. This is a game I tried really hard for years to not get too carried away about. You know, I figured I'd play it cool, keep my expectations in check, not allow myself to get swallowed by the hype beast. But you know what? Screw it, it looks insane. It's coming out on March the 3rd, and I genuinely believe this is the most excited I have ever been for any game. Ever. I honestly didn't think I was capable of this kind of fevered anticipation anymore. You know, I thought this was exclusively the domain of 13-year-old me on Christmas Eve night when I'd felt the presence and was 95% sure I was getting a PS2 in the morning. Every time Square Enix shares something new from Final Fantasy VII Remake, all my professionalism just sort of melts away. It's why if you watch any of the videos I've made about the game, you'll likely just hear me going, "Ah!" for 10 minutes. It's everything we wanted. The characters look amazing, the environments look just as we dreamed them, the music is the perfect mix of iconic and nostalgic, but also fresh, orchestral, modern and epic. They've got the squat spit in there, and Don Corneo.
Shimmy on over and give Daddy some sugar.
And you can see the materia in the Buster Sword. The details the developers are putting in the game feel like what me and my friends from 20 years ago would put in the game if we all spent our lunch break huddled round a table coming up with madly ambitious ideas. And I'm going to stop now talking about Final Fantasy VII Remake because we've still got 5 other games to get through. Entry 3, LEGO Star Wars The Skywalker Saga. Now, as the 4th biggest Star Wars fan in the office, I don't feel I'm as qualified as some of my colleagues to talk about this game, but then at least I am able to talk. Dave can only make small squeaking noises when asked about this because, let's be honest, it's a Star Wars fan's dream. 9 movies, 9 open world hubs to explore. This is pod racing. Entry 4, Doom Eternal. At first glance, you might think this is a sequel that simply offers bigger things, more things, prettier things. And it does offer those things, yes, but not just those things. If you watch Nathan's painstakingly crafted video after going hands-on with Doom Eternal, you'll learn the bigger, better, badder stuff all fuses together to create a revolutionary new feel to gameplay. Yes, it's still very much about being quick, smooth and aggressive, pulling you into a constant and frenzied dance with near death in the knowledge the game will reward your bravery with ammo and health. But now that's been expanded to such a degree that you'll feel even more of a badass than before. Flowing through areas, blasting demons with shotguns, disemboweling them with the chainsaw, performing glory kills and blood punches is like a deadly red ballet of risk and reward, slamming demons open like ammo piñatas and using the loot spillage to continue your onslaught. The original Doom lit the fuse for first-person shooters back in the 90s. Doom Eternal feels like the resulting firework. Entry 5. Good lord, how massive can the games on this list get? Cyberpunk 2077, the epic sci-fi RPG based on the classic tabletop game and crafted by the studio that brought us The Witcher 3, has been one of the most hotly anticipated games for years. And after seeing it demoed live, it's easy to see why. This is absolutely everything you're hoping it is. A beautifully realised open world, incredible narrative flexibility determined by your choices, a fully customisable main character. Breathtaking. The vibe of Cyberpunk 2077 is on point. A grimy, wire-choked sprawl of a city, a collision of class and culture, the abandoned dreams of the haves, captured and repurposed by the have-nots, your character navigating dirty back alleys and gleaming highways, as well as head-scratching ethical dilemmas. There's also the small matter of building your character's playstyle. Are you going to be a sneaky hacker or an aggressive brawler? If you're a hacker, you still get to have lots of fun with your enemies. For instance, you can hack into their brains and make them do bad things to themselves, or hack into equipment they're using and have it malfunction in deadly ways. Plus, this is a CD Projekt game. Just like in The Witcher 3, we've been promised substantial side quests with fully fleshed out characters and a huge, dense open world to uncover. We are very excited. Roll on April the 16th, 2020. Nioh 2 is next up, a game that looks every bit as meticulous, brutal and sharp as its predecessor. A wonderful mix of Dark Souls-esque progression and refined, sophisticated combat. Nioh 2 is a game guaranteed to swallow our lives as we attempt to tame its tough-as-nails bosses and get to grips with all the lovely weapons at our disposal. Nioh 2 is from Team Ninja, the studio that brought you Ninja Gaiden, so that should give you some indication of what to expect from the combat. Challenging? Absolutely. Rewarding and oh so cool once you get the hang of it? Absolutely, absolutely. Usually I just bounce off anything with even a remote whiff of difficulty, but there's a draw to progression in Nioh 2 I just can't resist. Ninja Gaiden was the same. I'd get my ass kicked a bunch of times, and then something would just click, and before you know it, I'm triple backflipping off walls and slicing up enemies in a flurry of lightning-quick sword strokes that seem faster than humanly possible. And Nioh 2 looks, if anything, like a perfectly evolved model of everything Team Ninja is good at. The combat, having played the open beta, is as gratifying as ever, drawing you in even while it nails you with an enemy you weren't expecting. Nath will probably have the platinum within a week of it coming out, just to rub it in. Final entry, Ghost of Tsushima. This open-world samurai epic from infamous developer Sucker Punch looks ridiculously good. There's a stunningly beautiful open world to explore, but what's most exciting for me is the uniqueness of 13th century Japan as a setting. We've done cities, we've done high fantasy, we've done futurism, post-apocalypses. This sweeping land of untamed natural beauty is exactly the kind of place I want to get lost in. I want to ride around on my horse, stop, slowly pan the camera and drink it all in. Then I want to get off my horse and engage in tense mano-a-mano samurai combat. You're not slashing wildly, it's like a standoff, exactly like you'd see in the movies. These scenarios carrying all the bristling tension of a Zatoichi, the blink and you'll miss it action of a Seven Samurai or Yojimbo. Director Nate Fox has gone on record and said he's been influenced heavily by his love for classic samurai movies, in particular the work of the legendary Akira Kurosawa. And you can really see that influence in the cinematic framing of Ghost of Tsushima. It looks astonishing, and I cannot wait to play as Jin Sakai, the last samurai, and live out all those childhood wish fulfillment fantasies of wandering the land, calm and composed, delivering razor-sharp justice to evildoers with a deft swipe of my blade. Amazing. So there you go, finish Death Stranding, and you've still got these 7 incredible games to look forward to on PS4. Let us know which you're most excited about in the comments. Let us know if there are any games we've missed. Give us a like if you enjoyed the video, and click that notification bell so you're always up to date with everything from the world of PlayStation. Thanks for watching, and see you again soon.
For the players.